What if I just let him have an affair? I, 36, discovered my husband's 40 affair Thanksgiving morning. He says they had not had sex, but his messages show that they were planning to with locations, times and details. He does not feel he did anything wrong because the affair had not become physical yet. We have argued. I have cried. I text the girl 19 and told her off. I demanded to read his phone. They still plan to meet this afternoon and hold tight to the belief that they can still be friends because they never actually had sex. In the end I became the bad guy. Not just to him, in that way that cheaters project their shame onto others, but to myself. This angry, jealous, bitter person is not who I want to be. There are other places my attention need to be. My children, 14, 17, 18, from my first marriage just lost their father in a car accident in October. They are grieving and need me. I am grieving in an unexpected sort of way as well and am struggling with depression. My husband never really dated before me. I am his first serious relationship. And with me being so distracted I can see why he may need to seek attention elsewhere. Could a long-term relationship survive and thrive if I just let this go for now? If I just took this one thing off my plate to worry about, focus on myself and my kids for a bit and let him have his fun, could we still have a happy marriage in the future? I have an issue with a 40-year-old man even being friends with a 19-year-old girl, especially with you having children basically the same age. Let him have an affair. And divorce papers. He has no respect for you. You deserve much better. Do not blame yourself for his trash. Let's put aside the fact he wants an affair with someone young enough to be his daughter. If he wanted an open-type relationship he should have discussed it with you before getting caught. Don't let this be an example of what your kids think love and mutual respect is. He's still meeting her today despite all of this. He doesn't give a single shit about your feelings, hun. He's going to do whatever he wants and walk all over you in the process. You're right to let him go. In the background you're focusing on your kids and yourself, which is excellent. I'm proud of you for demonstrating that level of courage. Time to speak to a lawyer on the down low though. Know your rights and responsibilities and plan for action. There is no coming back from this. He's not really trying to hide it and shows no signs of stopping. Give him what he wants, a proper carte blanche. When he's divorced he can chase all the underage skirt he wants. Your husband is sick in the head. He could be that child's father. They can't be friends because a 40-year-old and a teenager can't be friends. You aren't the bad guy, he is. Supporting you in a tough time is what a partner does, not sneak around and fuck teenagers. If you can manage on your own financially, give him an ultimatum and stick to it. You speak to her again and we divorce. He has a stepchild a year younger than the person he wants to fuck. Sex is not what defines an affair. He has been unfaithful just by speaking intimately with another woman. To say it's fine because they have not had sex is completely wrong. I have been with my wife 27 years and committed to her and her only. If you are going to work through this, then letting him have an affair is not the right way to go. He's gaslighting you. Leave. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? He planned to have sex with a kid who's only a year older than your daughter. Leave him. You are justifying his action. I'm sorry he did this to you, but he was wrong. Telling yourself things were busy and you can see why he did it only further solidifies the justification. You did nothing wrong and shouldn't feel like a bad person, and shame on him for making you feel like the bad guy. Hopefully you get your head on straight and please stop making excuses for your husband who is clearly in the wrong and everyone can see that. Girl, you are angry and jealous and have every right to be so. You agreed to live in a monogamous marriage and he planned to step out. He was already cheating on you when he made the decision to have sex with his AP. And he is doing all that during a time where you and your kids need support and a strong shoulder to lean on too. This is not about to let him have his fun, this is only about where his priorities are. Your children just lost their father, your ex-husband. And your new husband's reaction to not getting your full attention is to plan an affair with someone half his age. Let's be clear, the only reason he hasn't had a physical affair yet is because you caught him red-handed. Please throw away the whole man, because it's clear you should never trust him again. All the best. What if you left him? Based on your last post, this guy isn't just a cheater but he's also really shitty to your children who just lost their father. Could we still have a happy marriage in the future? No, because he's not a good person and you'll wonder why you decided to stay. Now is the time to look practically at things like where to go, what kind of support system you have. Really ask yourself why your man picker is so off and get into therapy to help you process not only your grief but your relationship choices. You went from one kind of abusive man to another. You need to unpack that. Your kids just lost their real father and now they have a stepfather who is cheating on their mom with a 19-year-old teenager. Seriously? Your oldest kid is 18. They're so close in age is disgusting. Don't do this to your kids. The truth always comes out and your kids will be disappointed in their mother who knowingly stays with a borderline pedophile. Also, if you allow this, he's just gonna keep walking over you in the future because if you allow something this fucked up, he probably thinks he can do whatever. You will not have a happy marriage in the future. If you decide to divorce, please try to gather evidence and pictures of the convos he had with this teenager. Could be useful if it becomes a nasty divorce. You can let this go for sure if you think it's best and you want to. But I'd firstly query why on earth he thinks you're in the wrong here. Also be careful not to misfire your anger at the girl. She's done nothing wrong, she owes you nothing. No, do not let this man destroy you. You have more self-worth than this. He is planning to sleep with a woman not much older than your children. Do you not see the giant red flag there? He is attracted to people that are the same age as your children. He is not a person you want to lower yourself and be with. He is unworthy of you. This will forever destroy you and he will never change. He will carry on and he will find others too. Put the big girl panties on and show the real woman you are who does not allow this type of disrespect. You underreacted and he's trying to make it out like it's okay. It is not okay and never will be. Absolutely not. Even if you let this run its course there is zero chance he wouldn't do it again. And why wouldn't he if there are no consequences? He does not need to seek attention elsewhere. He should be supporting you and your children through a difficult time and he should be more than happy to do so. Not cultivating predatory friendships with other women who are the age of his stepchildren. He is showing you who he is right now. Believe him. Your husband is a creep and it's not the 19-year-old's fault he's going after a girl young enough to be his daughter. I'd have serious reservations about letting him anywhere near your children's friends. Edit. Just saw he's your kid's stepfather. Kick him out immediately. They aren't safe around him if he's fucking kids a year older. So you guys have no kids together? Leave him. You have no ties to him. You will find a better man. He's talking to someone 21 years younger than him. That's creepy and not someone you'd want to spend the rest of your life with. Especially if you found out what he's doing and he's still going to meet up with her. He does not respect you and eventually he will either leave you or keep cheating on you. There is no happy ending, happy marriage in the future if you stay. Can I ask you where your sense of self-respect is and more importantly why it isn't immediately alarming to you that your 40-year-old husband is trying to fuck someone only a year older than one of your children? He's not ready to be husband material. You need to let him go while you can and help your kiddos grieve and work on your depression while not having to worry about what your husband is doing. He came into y'all's lives knowing what was at hand. He should be there for y'all. No, kick him out. He is trying to sleep with a girl the same age as your children. He is a pervert and a cheat with no respect for you. You're in grieving and he pulls this shit. What a disgusting human being. Kick him out. Divorce. And do not let him back in your life. You have to do this for yourself and your children. You deserve so much better. He needs a shrink and so does the 19-year-old. You need a car with a full tank of gas and a new address. Your husband doesn't deserve you. Your children lost their bio dad and everyone is grieving but all your husband can think about is his dick. He wants to have sex with a girl half his age. He is disrespecting you and your marriage instead of being a supportive husband. You don't have to put up with this. The stupidest thing you could ever do for you or your kids is stay with this cheating MF, but if you honestly want to let him cheat on you and benefit from this 19-year-old child you're sharing your husband with and you're so fucking stupid that you deserve it all. A good significant other will be there for you and with you if you are feeling depressed and down. Don't try to excuse this behavior away because I promise you he's going to see it as you being okay with it and keep doing it. You will regret it later and next time it will only hurt more. This is the worst idea ever. He planned to meet up with a teenager, have sex with her and only because you found out. He plans to stay friends and not have sex, and then he turned it around and made it your fault. That is emotional abuse and gaslighting. Sounds like you're in a shitty place and I'm sorry for the loss of your children's father. But you do not need him. He is not a support system, he does not respect you and he will not be a good partner. If your daughter were in your shoes, what would your advice be? Surely not to be a doormat and not to allow her to have such little self-respect as to let this piece of shit carry on. I would dump the dead weight, be with your kids and find someone who is going to hold you up in tough times. Your husband is a borderline pedophile, so I'd try to figure that out before ever thinking out whether or not you should try to continue the relationship. Your husband is a creep. I understand what he thinks is going on. You giving too much attention to the situation makes him furious, it seems. You're in a marriage with this guy and you're prob getting depressed and crying and it throws him off. He might be asking himself, why is he with someone who cares so deeply for another man? You're gonna have to communicate with your man. I know he feels like he is on the outside of his relationship. Communicate. Don't allow someone to disrespect you and put your feelings last. If he was a mature man that cared about you, maybe you guys could create an open relationship and create boundaries where both parties are included. He's not including you in any of this. He's selfish. Don't confront him just to do it either. Have a consequence before you say something or he will just keep doing it. If it were me, there's no going back from it. I would divorce him. Sure, you can make a conscious decision to let him have an affair with the mindset of it's fine because it's over. He can do what he wants, doesn't mean there won't be consequences. I'm honestly disgusted that this married, 40-year-old man not only wants to have an affair, but with someone who is barely out of high school and young enough to be his daughter. It reeks of being predatory, opportunistic, manipulative, not to mention it being emotional cheating, which is still cheating. Let him have his affair and you can stop enabling this pathetic person by prioritizing yourself. There's no thinking required. You don't even need to justify to him why you are divorcing him. I am sure he'll start saying sorry and begging to you, but remember that's not who he is. That sorry is only because he will know what he's losing. You don't need him. Not at all. Trust me. Trust so many of us saying this to you. Please. No, all this does is let your husband know that he can do anything he wants, and you'll lay there, like a dog, and take it. No, and again. No, he can either have you, and be a loyal, decent human being, or give you a divorce, so that you can find someone that'll love and treat you with the respect you deserve. He doesn't deserve to have a family if he's just gonna toss you and the kids aside for some other chick he's got on the side. That he hasn't slept with yet, and that is the same age as your kids. Red flag alert. And #X200B. And you want to let him have it, for what? Peace of mind? Not worth it. At all. Yes, let him go. All the way gone. This is not okay, or normal. He got caught and never thought to apologize or even try to fix things with you. And he is still going to see her. On what planet do you think they're not going to fuck? That's what they were planning. He made it clear his plans won't change just because his pesky wife found out. He gives absolutely zero shits about you or your feelings. The disgusting fact that she's 19 aside, seriously ew, he is telling you who he is. He will continue to walk all over you if you don't walk away now. Nothing you do or say will change him. Love yourself more, so much more. Wait. How old are you? You and your husband. And for the info, yeah, it's not because he didn't do it that he's alright. He was planning to do it and he would have if you didn't saw the message. And the fact that you have a 18-year-old children while he is planning to do the D with a 19-old girl is concerning. Also yes, you're in right to not want him around her. How long you been together, there is many circumstances adding to situations like this. If he have no children previously, he committed to you with kids, means he invest in all sense to raise other men children. He may done this because lack of options of women, so he perceived himself unsuccessful with women, but now do he receive other female interest than yours he abandoned the current situation. You have no choice but accept it anyway, you can't force anyone to anything. If you okay with him have other women, it will be a standard as you get him adapt to the fact that you okay with it. But that means your relationship becomes open, or you set apart. Girl, divorce him. Yeah, no, do not, just let him. From experience, this one pass will be expected every time he wants to meet up with others, and when you do put your foot down sometime in the future he will flip his shit. Not only that, but it will eat at you. Trust me, constantly wondering what his ass is up to. Where he is at. Hell, you'll even start to wonder if and when he asks or tells you anything if it's true or is it a lie. I say cut his ass loose if McDouche wanna act single. Then McDouche can be single. It would be one less heartache on you. Also, what the fuck, dude is like 40, which is 4 years older than me, and is wanting to hook up with a 19 years old. Face vomiting, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face, nauseated face. He is already cheating on you in his head. He wants to be with that girl and nobody will stop him. That's clear what he was doing. You texted the girl and she still wants to meet him. And him too. That's so disrespectful with you and your feelings. Maybe he said you guys are separated. Just kick his ass out of your house. If they are just friends, why he doesn't take you together to meet her? Think about it. Fucking a 19-year-old. Midlife crisis much. Honestly, your real issue here is your 40-yo husband going after a 19-yo. That is just disturbing. The fact that he plans to boink someone who could be his daughter is disgusting. Ma'am. No, stop this. For you and for your kids. They'll eventually learn about it. Do you think your kids would benefit on a father like that? Also, your husband is a fucking creep. Divorce him. He's 1, 2, or all of the following. 1. A creep. 2. An asshole, a jerk. 3. Really dumb. If you could be happy with a polygamous relationship, then sure, maybe it could work. I would think that instead of seeking out pleasures, he would be more focused on looking out for his family. I don't think it would work because I already see issues with communication and trust, which a polygamous relationship needs more than a traditional relationship coupling. Can you really stay married to somebody who would prey on a teenager? That in itself says a lot about who your husband is, even if it wasn't an affair. Survive? Sure. Thrive? Unlikely. That would take two partners who respect each other and their feelings. We seem to have none of that here. Having said that, take your time. No need to let emotion rule such a big decision as divorce. Keep a journal to write out your thoughts and feelings. When you are ready to move on, then do so without regret. Your long-term relationship is not thriving right now, and letting him cheat won't turn that around. The fact that he is attempting to sleep with someone that is a year older than one of your children, predatory. You would be better off getting out of that marriage and separating yourself from him. Your 40-year-old husband wants to fuck a 19-year-old girl. I'd be focusing on my children right now and I'd never speak to him again. OMG, he's terrible. You're better off without him and delusional if you think what he did was not cheating. They're both delusional. A 40-year-old man hooking up with a teenager 1 year older than his daughter isn't having an affair. He's exploiting a teenager. Technically it's legal, but you should tell her parents. Your husband is sleazy as fuck and shouldn't be anywhere near you or your kids. No offense, but a 40-year-old guy trying to bang a 19-year-old is creepy.